Hello, Zoo School Live. I'm Keeper Ian, and I'm here to talk chicken talk with you guys today. So around me, we have our 19 exhibit chickens. Right now, it's a little chilly out today, so everybody's kind of hunkered under the heat lamp, but I'm going to draw them out with some fun enrichment. By now, you guys should know enrichment is an item we bring into an exhibit to enrich the animal's life through sensory, taste, smell, all the good stuff. I'm gonna go grab just a big piece of plastic right now. These guys like to jump on and perch on things. So this is not an item I give them very often. This is more for maybe our bigger animals like goats and big cats. But we're gonna at least see if it'll draw some interest, which it has. Looking around all the chickens coming out, you might notice a lot of different colored feathers. That's because we have different breeds of chicken here. These two ladies, that was Keegan reminding you that he's a rooster. Oftentimes roosters will make the crow sound just to establish dominance, or if they hear another rooster, let that other rooster know that this is their area. Or sometimes it's just to remind the hens who he is. So you can see Hamza, one of our buff Brahma bantams, has already jumped on top of the platform. So showing that putting this simple item in can definitely add some excitement to their day. But that's not going to be it. Oh, Keegan. Let me see what else we can grab that chickens might like. So now, I've got some paper. The chickens like to scratch. You've heard the term chicken scratch. It's because chickens like to scratch things. So we'll see if this can get any play. Hi. So these two chickens here, the New Hampshire Reds, we actually had some zoo campers name for me last year. Oftentimes I have people ask if all our chickens have names. Out of the 19 chickens here, I would say 15 of them have official names. And then a couple of them have nicknames like Poofy Hair and No Poofy Hair. But this is Houdini, and this is Sneaker. And we named them because the campers asked if they had names, and I said no. And they said, well, what kind of personality traits do they have? And I said, well, every time I open the door to get out of the exhibit, these two New Hampshire Reds are the first ones to try to sneak out. So, of course, the kids came up with names Sneaker for sneaking out, and Houdini, because Houdini likes to sneak out of his entrapments. All right, so not much interest in the paper. We'll see if they like music now. So that was Sneaker doing exactly what I said she'd do, and that was try to follow me into the Keeper exhibit. So now we have a xylophone, which a guest donated to us. I'm going to put some millet in there, and we'll see if they'll play a little music for us. Now, I used some encouragement. What I have here is millet, which is a chicken favorite, little seed. So sprinkling that on there does encourage them to play. Wow, great job, ladies. So of our 19 chickens, 17 of them are hens, which are female chickens, and 2 of them are roosters. They are egg-laying hens, so we will get some eggs in the morning. The roosters do not lay eggs. Here we have our 2 buff Brahma bantam hens, and their quirky personality trait is they like to jump on things. So you saw when I put that red piece of plastic in, they were the first ones to get up. They often jump on anything we'll put in here. You might remember Miss Pepper Potts from a previous zoo school. She was an education chicken who has now come back to her original home on exhibit. So we're happy to have her back. Welcome back, Pepper. Chickens, going on their personalities and talking about Pepper Potts, an interesting dynamic in the chicken flock is when Pepper Potts left and then she came back, it was as if the chickens put her back to the bottom of the pecking order. She had to go through a couple days of being lightly bullied by the other chickens before she was accepted again. And now you can see she's back to being one of the girls. But yeah, so being bullied would maybe be them pecking at the other chicken, pulling feathers out. There's a prime example of some bullying by our black Silky there against the buff Silky. Great job on cue. So they are just digging around for millet now, scratching the dirt, trying to get that seed out. Every day we give these guys a grain, waterfowl grain, duck pellets, as seen here. And then every day around noon to 3 p.m. we give them what we call a chicken salad. It does not have chicken in it until they actually step in the bowl, and then it makes it a chicken salad. But it normally consists of romaine lettuce, fruits, and vegetables. These ladies love grapes, they love melon. So I made a little surprise for them for Zoo School Live, which I'll go get if I can get my little Jerry. So we have our Zoo School Live watermelon and grapes. So you can see I just cut away some of the rind there so they can get their head in. And when I set this down, you're gonna see a lot of chickens pick up a grape and run. So let's see. Normally they try to keep a grape from themselves. If it's too big to eat all in one bite, they try to run away with it. So I like to cut fun shapes in the melon, so they have to get their head in there and work to get that melon. If I come in later and I notice that it was too hard for them to get all the melon, I'll flip it upside down so they can eat all of the melon. And this is a real treat with all these grapes. You can tell these ladies are loving it. So over here we have little Jerry. He's one of our roosters. Little Jerry has a pretty bad reputation for being a feisty rooster here. Whenever keepers are coming in to take care of the yard, to rake up all the old straw and put down new straw, little Jerry oftentimes likes to take his spurs, the little claw on the back of his feet, and try to attack people's legs with that. So he'll basically lift those feet up and try to get you with his claw there. So I worked out a training routine to try to curb that behavior. It started with me holding millet in my hand and just having him eat out of it. And then I'd blow a whistle. So you associated the whistle with the food. Then I added my hand down for him to step up with the millet. And then it escalated into me holding my hand out like this. And that got little Jerry's attention off of my feet and onto the reward. Good job, Jerry. So I'm gonna go in and get Jerry some millet because he did a great job. And then I'll bring him back out and we'll see if he'll fly for us. So again, that training was to try to curb Jerry's bad behavior. So when I walked in, instead of him attacking me, I would just hold my hand out, and he would immediately know, okay, he's gonna give me food if I fly to his hand, which I do. So I'll put him down on his perch. Good. And reward him. And then often forgotten about fact is chickens can fly short distances, often to evade predators. All right, little Jerry, let's see if you can fly on live Facebook. With the music playing from the chicken band. Good job, Jerry. You did it. Huzzah. And you can see Jerry's got some really cool colors on his feathers. I don't know if you can make out the teals, blue, and green. Quite the beautiful rooster. And speaking of roosters, that's Keegan down below us. So Keegan and little Jerry do not get along. Little Jerry might be really tough when it comes to attacking Keeper's legs, but when it comes to Keegan, Keegan is the top dog in this roost. I was hesitant to know if Jerry would fly to me with Keegan lurking in the background, but he did. He did great. Good, little Jerry. Good. Good. So through this training, we're also able to touch Jerry's chest here to see how much meat he's holding onto his body. With birds, it's tough to tell if they're at a good weight because of all the feathers they have. For instance, we have a buff Cochin here. She looks like she's a big lady, but underneath all that fur, she's probably just as big as the chickens to her left and right. And the way to tell how much meat a chicken has is to feel their keel, an area right here on their chest, and feel how much meat is around that bone. So, good job. Something that nobody thought we'd be able to do, which is touch little Jerry, we're able to do through positive reinforcement. Great job, Jerry. So now I'll give him the rest of his millet because he did well. And normally the other chickens know they're going to get some too. Chickens generally live 5 to 10 years. We have a pretty old flock here. They're running around 8 years old. We're down to 19, but all these guys are in pretty good health. They have had health issues in the past. So some of them have been on meds and had veterinary treatment to get them back up to par. But because of that, we don't feed out their eggs. So a lot of guests ask me if they lay eggs. We do get anywhere from 0 eggs a morning to 7 eggs a morning. Normally, if this were a healthy younger flock, we would probably save those eggs and give them to Saki monkeys, golden lion tamarins, or some of our carnivores here. But because they're not, we send them to a compost yard. So here we have a black silky, a modern game bird. That is a raven.
So Ian, do you have a favorite chicken here at the zoo?
Boy, great question. I mean, how could this not be your favorite chicken? He's full of personality. When I first started here, he had the worst reputation. I'm also a big fan of Echo, our barred owl, who also has a bad reputation. So I guess I got to think for bad boys. What can I say? Yeah, it would be little Jerry. But I really like Millie, who is our Mill Fleur Bantam. So she is over here. She's our smallest chicken. And I like that she's got those little feathers on her feet. Looks like she's got a little bit better style than any of the other chickens when it comes to footwear. So yeah, her name is Millie, and that was an easy name because she's a Mill Fleur Bantam, so I just used the first word of her breed name. She's also pretty tough. When I told you that story earlier about our education chicken who came back here, Millie is one of the aggressors when it comes to new chickens coming back in. So yeah, despite her size, she is mighty and tough. And we also have a mottled Houdan who hasn't come out right now. And that's because she kind of is bottom of the pecking order, and also might just be comfortable. Oh, she's just hanging out near the heat lamps. But she has got the best headdress. I don't know if you guys can see her. There she is. So you can see her feathers come down almost completely over her eyes. But she is able to see. Her name is Kaminsky. Hi, Kaminsky. And she's hanging back there with Snooky, our Jersey giant. Oh, and you can see got a chicken in the nest box. Our keeper staff here took some buckets and made them into a nice little nest box area. So oftentimes if you're here in the zoo, you don't get to see behind the scenes here, but they do have heat lamps, nest boxes, and a lot of straw. So when they tuck her down for the night, they are well kept.
So what kind of work does it take to care for these chickens? What does a daily routine look like when you come to cleaning and feeding and things like that?
Yeah, so a daily routine, I come in here with a rake and a shovel and a big brute bucket. Chicken's playing some more music. We take all the old straw out. We try to scrub anything that looks like the chickens have made a mess on. It's been harder in the winter months to get a good thorough clean because of things freezing over and snow dropping. We dump out all the food that they didn't eat from the day before because oftentimes chickens are a little gross and they will go to the bathroom in their food throughout the day. So we dump all that, give them fresh food, change their water daily, and just really look over each chicken. And it can be a little overwhelming when you have a lot of animals in a small exhibit to make sure everybody's doing all right. So I encourage people to take a minute, take a beat, and just look at each chicken individually. Like, are they walking all right? Do their eyes look good? What else? I mean, I guess that's it. Food, water, bedding. Take up all the old, put down the new. And then today, this is almost enrichment overload. I tried, because of Zoo School Live today, to show all their favorite things in one instance. Oh, I forgot. I do have an article as well. A bad attempt at humor, but they're not really scratching at paper. But I wanted to show them that chicken thighs and drumsticks were 98 cents a pound. Thanks to our sponsor, Redner's. Make sure to send us some enrichment in the mail. But we'll see what you think about that sale.
So do they have a favorite type of enrichment, or do they kind of interact with with a lot of different things?
It depends on the chicken. As I said earlier, the Buff Brahma Bantams would be the first to jump on things. Little Jerry also is quick to jump on things. And some chickens like scratching. Every Friday we get a grain delivery where I get a huge piece of cardboard on the bottom of a pallet. And I try to bring that in here for them because they just like scratching at that cardboard, some of them. And yeah, I like seeing that they're still going after the instrument, even without the millet. And when I come in tomorrow morning or tonight to remove that watermelon, it's going to be nothing but the rind. They will eat every piece of that melon.
Just a reminder, folks, if anyone has a question they'd like to ask, make sure you put that in the comments. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes with our chicken friends since they're really enjoying this awesome enrichment, and we're enjoying talking with Ian today. So other than Jerry's flights, have you ever trained them to do anything else, or are there any other training plans in the future?
So these guys do not have any training plans set for right now. That specific training was really to help the keepers deal with an aggressive rooster. And I did read some articles about roosters and how to train them, and a lot of them were comically, no, you will not be able to train your rooster, and roosters are always aggressive. So I thought I'd throw that in there.
If you guys would like to help with enriching our chicken flock, you can check out our Amazon wish list. So a lot of the enrichment, you guys saw the little piano today. You have this different bench that they really enjoyed jumping on. Many of our animals share enrichment as long as it's safe for that particular species. So if you would like to send some new fun stuff our chickens' way, you can check out on our website at our donation page. Yes, Keegan agrees. You can check out our donation page or check out our Amazon wish list, which should be linked on our website as well. Because just like our other animals, the chickens do need a little excitement in their life. We'll kind of explore, we'll watch our little chicken feast. I'm going to check for some questions. If there's anything else you'd like to know, we have some thank yous and some hi, good morning chickens. Oh, someone asked, do they like the goats? A few minutes ago we did have some goat friends hanging out in the background. They've kind of moved on, but do the chickens like the goats?
I believe the chickens do like the goats. You can see that since we extended our contact yard so that guests can come into it, we have put the fencing within a foot of the chicken fencing here. And I know Marlin, our Pygora goat, who I can see from here looking at us, he's definitely interested in the chickens. And I do think that the chickens enjoy seeing the goats get that close to the fence.
Awesome.
Hi, Millie.
Do the chickens ever get any wild animal visitors here at the zoo?
Boy, what a great question. They do get an occasional wild animal visitor. We do get some wild birds who can squeeze through the fencing here. So they're very opportunistic. In the morning when I feed the chickens their morning feed, if I walk away, there'll definitely be a little flock of birds. And I come out here with my rake and I say, "Get out of here, wild birds," and they get. We also have a squirrel friend who has found a hole that he digs under, and will sometimes visit. And again, I come over and say, "Get out of here, squirrel," and he gets. And occasionally, wild rat or two will find his way into the chicken exhibit. Luckily, none of the wild animals have done any harm to our chickens, so they're just normally coming in here looking for a free meal, which is the case with a lot of exhibits at a lot of zoos. Oh, there's a little wild bird friend just snuck in the fence right now.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of taking care of these chickens, Ian?
My favorite part is, boy, that's a tough question. There's a lot of things I do enjoy. I'll say in the morning when you first come in, you have 19 chickens who are all very vocal and clucking and just a lot of good chicken clucking noise waiting for that first feed. I always think that's a cool thing. And I like seeing them at the end of the night. We have a ladder behind us that you probably saw in the beginning. Oftentimes in the summer months, you'll get 75% of the chickens will hang out on that ladder on a nice night. So I think that's real cute too. If you're ever here for a night event, brew at the zoo, or boo at the zoo, or anything in the evening, peek in the chicken exhibit and you might see them all sitting roosting on that ladder.
Do you have a least favorite thing about caring for the chickens?
Least favorite, I guess just how much they go to the bathroom. There's a lot of chickens and they have no regard for where they're going. As I said, going in their food is always not the best thing to come into when they've done a lot of nasty business in their food bowl. Yeah, I guess that's my least favorite part.
Well, thank you so much for sharing sharing this awesome flock with us today, Ian. I hope you guys enjoyed watching some chicken enrichment and a little chicken feast. And of course, little Jerry's first official live demo of training here. He did a great job. Oh, and he's gonna use that paper for us. Perfect timing. If you guys think of any questions, if you're watching this later on, please, as always, put them in the comments and we will do our best to hop back on and answer them. And make sure you tune in on Thursday for our next episode at 11 a.m. of Zoo School Live. If you've missed any of our episodes, you can find them on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. So please make sure you go back and enjoy all of those other episodes.
I just wanted to give one quick shout out to the team at Diet Docents, our volunteers. They make the best chicken salads for these chickens. They make designs and smiley faces out of fruits and vegetables. So hi to all you volunteers who come in and make the food for these animals. It's truly appreciated.
Thanks, guys. We will see you on Thursday.